Welcome to another video of Bob Bitchin' 66 racing today at Spa-Francorchamps in the Super Formula cars. It's a tough track. Here's some previous footage here. Trying to go through my first couple races, it's easy to see that a lot can go wrong very quickly. Contact, ramming. Let's rewind here, try to get back to what we're trying to accomplish today. I'm lucky to be qualifying here at 5th. Definitely very important for a race like this. As soon as you lose slipstream, it's very easy to get caught in the back and not have a chance at getting up to the front. The race is getting started here in my Pierre Gasly AlphaTauri. We get a true F1 start. We had to go when the lights turned green, which meant that penalties for early starts were a thing. Taking off, got a little bit of grip here, able to get away from the mayhem that's ensuing behind me. This guy tries to nosedive right in front of me. I'm able to pull out of there, form up in the line, and get underway with the race. Car in front of me, Spire Team's got a 1 second penalty, it appears. Coming up the first straight, fast turn, really got to keep the inside line. Got to pull the draft as much as you can to get around him. You are going to really max out speeds on this sprint and instantly have to slam down into third gear to get through this S's. I'm going to try to hold my position right here as Joker tries to push in. I take it a little too far, clip the curb a bit, and I am going to lose a position off that. Staying with the pack though, it's a really close race right now still, and a long ways to go. This is a 10-lap race, so endurance is the name of the game here. Luckily, we don't have to really think about fuel wear down. We're really just looking at our tires. We're running on racing hards, so we're not going to have as much grip as the softs, but they should generally last us throughout the race. You'll see as the race goes on, I'll focus on the tires a bit, and you'll see that I'll definitely be slipping as I come out of turns at low speeds. That's going to be the hardest thing. These cars have a lot of torque. Oof, and he spins out on the right. These cars have a lot of torque coming out of stops or very slow speeds. So the easiest thing this car is going to want to do is just flip around sideways. I'm running no ABS, no traction control. So, I really got to be sensitive on my brakes, and I have to be very careful with throttle response when it comes to coming out of turns. Coming up towards the end of the first lap, this is the worst turn that you're going to see this problem at. You got to slam straight into second gear from going speeds of 180 miles an hour, come through this S's with an uphill really gradient right there, and try to really keep it in a straight line out of there without spinning your wheels too much. I got to conserve them, so I can't just let them burn out the back and then come right back into the stops. It's a tough track. As you could see, second place right there already was having that traction slip up. As of right now, I'm fortunate enough to have a pretty solid gap to the cars behind me. Nothing too close to striking distance, but you'll see as coming up this hill is really where you can get the most speed. If you're able to slingshot coming out of that hill, that's what can create a 2 second gap into a, tenths of seconds. Coming up here, first and second really getting into a battle up there, trying to really keep my distance. I don't want to get too close. I want to be able to keep my line and be sure that when the opportunity comes that I am in striking distance, I can at least strike. Car behind me's got a penalty, so I don't really have to worry about him too much. Regardless, I know that coming up, if he is to get past me, I'll have a good chance to get right by him. I'm really just trying to keep it easy on the tires. I try to really kind of coast through turns when I can. I know you're not typically supposed to, but I really feel that when it comes to those split-second decisions coming out of a turn, that if I've got the grip to get ahead, that at least is going to give me a chance to get and grab a position. Really hugging edge to edge here. First and second, we're coming up on the one of the fastest parts of this track. Really gotta just kind of stick to your lines, hit it as hard as you can, and be able to decrease as much squealing as you can from the tires. They are hards, they're going to last throughout the race, no problem. You're just going to see a little bit of that degradation coming in towards the end of the race. Here, unfortunately, is where we're going to have the worst section of this race. That really just upsets me quite a bit. As you'll see, I come around that turn, Angle's not changing. Who knows what happened to me? As second place was coming in, I got super nervous, kicked the throttle a bit too much, and I spun it right around. I do a nifty little trick, because I know 3-point turning this car is not going to be how I succeed here. I'm able to at least stick in front of 6th and 7th. Hopefully going to grab some places back, but as you'll see, the draft really is contingent as to how you're going to do when it comes to remaking some of the positions. Once a group pulls away, get a little nudge in the back. Once a group pulls away, there's going to be a rougher and rougher chance of being back to where you are. I'm coming out of turn 1 in 6th. Looks like I'm going to have no space to stay in front of 7th. He's got a penalty as well. He's not going to be able to catch up. And I am not going to have the chance to get to 5th either. I'm going to try to late brake here a little bit just to see if I can get a little bit more inches. But it's a big fight going on behind me. Between 7th and 9th, it looks like they're going to be pretty busy. Try to get in with 5th. Hugging the inside in 2nd gear is really the best way to get around this turn. He's going to just pull away. He's quick. High Life is definitely a really good driver. I try to just stick to the draft as much as I can. And I try to get a quick little move here. I like to floor it right in 5th. If I can get the right line going into that turn, I can always see some good progress with the car in front of me. Coming down to 3rd gear here. This is one of my hardest turns. I tend to always slide right off the right side. As you can see, I touched that edge barrier right there. I've gone into the dirt one too many times. I gotta play it safe. Here, you're just going all out. Hugging the inside, riding a little bit of the runoff right there, and I'm gonna use my draft here to get to 5th. I did have an overtake button on this. I did not use it. I wasn't sure actually how to map it to my Logitech G29. So I just went full flat out here. Try to get a late brake on him a bit. Coming for the outside cutback, and I'm not able to get enough speed coming out of it. It must be my traction control. I swear I can never catch up coming out of that turn. I feel like I'm taking the right angle, but who knows. 4th place has a penalty. That's going to work in my favor. I'll definitely be able to grab that position when he slows down for a full second. And we're on to lap 4. Almost halfway done with this. It's a good little fight. I've got a good gap behind me. I really just got to get up to 5th. I'm hoping I could get podium. Got the beautiful AlphaTauri livery on my Formula car here. I've got McLaren on my other, the Honda, but this race required the Toyota Super Formula car. Coming back here into the S's. I go a little too late. Come right over. I'd save it just enough. I imagine they are right behind me. I'm just trying to gun it out of here as well as I can. 6th place definitely got a good little leg up on me. But we still got a good enough gap. I don't think they're quite in striking distance yet. I'm just trying to hold my lines, make sure that I don't slip off the road again. Tires are starting to see a little bit of degradation, but nothing too major. Come here, downshift into 5th. Floor through. That's what I love. When I'm able to at least come through that turn and just full throttle it right into that edge barrier. Down in 3rd, playing it safe through my turn. 4th place, definitely getting a good gap from me. I'm gonna be hoping that he's able to pull a penalty or something if I'm gonna have a chance. From here on, it's really just trying to drive consistently. I'm not going to be able to pull the draft unless he really slips on a turn. I'm thinking a little bit about 5th, making sure that they won't come up behind me and just surprise me. Constantly checking my radar, making sure that he's not way too close going for a move. Coming through those S's, making sure not to spin out again. Get a little squirrely towards the end there. And I do set a new best lap, so that's going to make me pretty happy. Just above 2 minutes is where I tend to be for this race. I think my qualifying was actually a 1:59, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go, coming down the big hill here. Gonna hope that 4th place slips up a bit. Really just trying to hold that inside line to the outside there. Trying to maintain as much speed as I can. Sixth place definitely bridged the gap quite a bit. He's going to go for a late break move right here on the right side. He's not going to have it just enough. I'm going to be playing defensive here, really trying to stay in the inside of that track, only cutting inside when I have to make the turn. I'm able to squeeze it out a little bit from him, but it's definitely going to be a fight if I don't stay consistent. Fourth place, I look like I'm able to get a little bit closer to him. Gonna really try to grab his draft here. He's not too far. The slipstream is gonna be my saving grace here, and here's the turn I love. I'm able to come right out of it, full throttle. Gonna squeeze it on the left side. He pushes me off the track a little bit. We get a little bit of contact. He ghosts out. I'm not quite sure, but I am able to get around him. A good enough gap, and I'm just going to hold my line here, make sure that I'm not making any slip-ups. I know he's in my slipstream. I'm doing everything I can to make sure that he's not going to get the edge. We're into the fastest part of the track here, and nothing too crazy. Need to make sure I'm just not going to go out of bounds here. Coming up on one of the slowest turns other than turn one. Trying to grab a line. Don't want to hit the runoff too much and let my tires lose the grip. We're going to set another new best lap. Really just hanging on. I see him in my rearview mirror. I know that they are close. Really got to be careful going up here. I got 4 laps left. I just got to hold this. I don't think I'm going to be catching up the third anytime soon. But it's clear that they are right behind me. They got their own little battle going on between 5th and 6th too, though. 6th is definitely going to have the slipstream to catch up to 5th. So, you know, it's the battle of the Americans right here, with France trying to get into it as well. Looks like Italy went off the edge a little bit there. I'm able to hold my ground, keep my distance from them. We're not going to have any issues. Downshift into 2, it's all just, I'm in the flow. There's every move, I know when I need to downshift, know my lines. And Spa really is one of my favorite tracks. I think it's just really interesting that you're able to have such a huge elevation change up and then just it's slowly downhill in the whole way. An awesome race to watch, especially in F1. You know, it's really cool that Gran Turismo was able to at least do a F1 race when there was no F1. COVID-19 taking out all the sports, and Formula One was part of that. Obviously, hearts go out to anyone that's being affected by the virus. But, you know, I'm glad that at least we've got some virtual way of at least being able to get some racing in, some sports in. And I'm able to at least take my AlphaTauri to Spa. I've got a great gap now from the cars. There's a lot of space. I don't think they're going to be catching up to soon unless I slip up with a penalty. Right here, it's just going to be a consistent game. I'm going to fast forward here to lap 8. Nothing really happening in lap 7. I'm just trying to make sure to keep my distance. As you can tell, a little bit of squealing coming from when I turn in. They were starting to see the degradation now when it comes to my tires. As you see, fuel is not really the biggest issue. It's really just going to be my tires that we're looking at. And a little bit of red, nothing too crazy. It's not like they're fully gone, but I just got to be careful when it comes to going into turns. Really trying to coast and not put too much power out when I'm pulling out. Pushing it a little bit here. Really trying to just get a perfect lap. I feel like, especially when it comes to having messed up, like going over the barrier there, I am going to grab my first penalty of the race of a whopping half a second. I got plenty of space behind me, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. But it is going to be something. We're going to have to do it. It looks like 4th place is where I'm sticking for the race. The rest of this race was pretty straightforward. Nothing crazy was going to change. I knew I just needed to be consistent and make sure that I was watching my tires. Plenty of space behind me. We're going to come up the big hill here. Approaching the penalty zone here. I'm going to downshift a bit too much, overcompensate for what half a second was, and I went down to third. Only really need to be in like fifth, maybe fourth. But yeah, we're gonna carry out of that. There's gonna be no issues. You know, we're just gonna finish this race strong. Coming into my stream here, you can see, just really trying to keep it. I had a massive gap between the last car. All I had to do was just finish out strong. Just over 2 minutes is going to be my general lap times. And fourth place, that's where we're sitting. I was able to grab one position from where I qualified. But yeah, as always, thank you so much for tuning in, watching. Leave a like, comment, and I'll see you in the next race.